Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
You have a few options for reviewing the changes that have been made to a workbook. You can elect to show and track changes in a workbook and even list the changes made in a separate spreadsheet named History. You can then use the History tab to review the changes that were made and choose to accept or reject the changes individually. In the History sheet, you'll see the name of the person who made the change, what type of change was made, when it was made, what cells in the sheet were affected, and what data was added or deleted. If you don't want to see this information in a separate sheet, you can also elect to have it display in the changed worksheet directly. You can use this when several people have made editing changes to a shared workbook or after you have sent out a workbook for review and then want to merge the input and commentary into one copy. To review the changes made in a shared workbook and highlight them, select Tools from the menu bar, roll down to Track Changes, and choose Highlight Changes from the side menu that appears. In the Highlight Changes dialog box, you can set the display option for editing changes. You can check the Track Changes while editing, this also shares your workbook checkbox, to enable changes to be tracked as you edit the spreadsheet. In the Highlight Which Changes section, you can decide what types of changes to highlight. By default, some types of changes aren't tracked. For example, formatting changes in a spreadsheet aren't ever tracked. However, in this section, you can choose when, for whom, and what cells to highlight changes for. We use the When checkbox and drop-down to select for what duration of time to highlight the changes. Remember that you can only highlight changes from as far back as you have set to track changes when you created the shared workbook. So for example, if you set the shared workbook to track change history for 30 days, you won't be able to see any of the changes made from before 30 days ago, as they would have been deleted. Use the Who checkbox and drop-down to select from whom to highlight changes. You can even use the Where checkbox and drop-down to select a cell range to highlight changes within. Below that, you can check the Highlight Changes on Screen checkbox to show the changes made in the cells that were changed directly in the sheet. Changed cells display a small triangle in their upper left corners. When you hold your mouse pointer over them in the spreadsheet, the information about the change appears in a small pop-up text box. You can also check the List Changes in a New Sheet checkbox to list the changes in a new spreadsheet named History. You can then review the changes in either place. Just click OK to highlight changes in the selected location. So here in the History tab, we can see a listing of the changes that have been made. Also, as we click through the spreadsheets, we can also see the highlighting and who changed what where. Now all that's left to do is accept or reject the editing changes that have been made.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.